by peer-to-peer knowledge marketplaces. And I thought, what if we could book any person in the world to have a conversation? What could that unlock? And that question just drove me for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Wow. By the way, the day you get the Dalai Lama on board, please let me know.
It will happen. It will happen. It's going to happen. Obama too. Obama's on our list. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's just absolutely amazing. I mean,
Will
what an idea.
It became possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you give me permission to record also, or make me co-host?
Sure. I think so. I've already started recording the session.
But I think I can also record if you make me co-host.
Okay, just a second. But then you will have to let students in. So let everyone in so that I have their attendance record. I have their attendance, Because as a teacher, that's really what I care about, their attendance first.
Yes.
Their grades, their attendance.
Yes.
So let me take everyone in, because I think it's going to be annoying for the next 7 minutes. You'll have every 2 seconds if somebody walks in. So let me just let everyone in. We're about 31 or 32 people usually.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey Hannah. Okay, hi Haruto, Imran and Brendan.
Yeah. Okay, now you have to introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, so I'm Reed Sensei's colleague. I don't really know much about life. I hope to learn a lot more from the likes of Reed Sensei and of course the both of you. Unfortunately, I don't think I can stay for the entire session. Because of the faculty development, I actually missed a class early on. So I'm going to do a makeup class with that student. So yeah, so sorry about that.
We're recording it, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to TiVo it and I'll watch it later.
Amazing.
Hannah-chan, can you introduce yourself, sweetheart? And after Hannah, Imran, Haruto, Brandon, and Amane.
That's a good idea as people sign in. That's good.
Yeah.
I am Hannah. I actually already had the pleasure of meeting Maxine and Yasmin in our global play meeting. I'm a student. I'm from Southern California, and I'm really excited for today's session.
Love it.
That makes at least the two of us.
And way to go on submitting such a rock star profile.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm humbled.
Haruto, could you introduce yourself, or Imran or Brandon or Amane? Somebody go ahead, introduce yourself.
Okay, what should I say?
You know what? You're an amazing dancer. Tell people about that.
No. I'm Haruto Horiuchi, and I'm second graders and sophomore, and I'm interested in linguistics now, and also I'm interested in psychology. And today I just finished the last class of psychology, but I have much homework. Yeah. So they try to kill me.
Right. Amane, sweetheart, if you could introduce yourself.
Haruto, you're from Japan. If you could also say what country you're from, that would be great.
Okay, I'm Amane Peepsack. I'm from Japan. I'm a first year, and I'm interested in art. Thank you.
Perfect. What kind of art?
Well, I'm thinking of like visual arts and stuff. So yeah.
Perfect.
If the next person can introduce yourself, Megan, and then Lena. Hey, Lena, haven't seen you for a while. Okay, Megan, go ahead, and then Lena.
Hi, I'm Megan Brown. I am a transfer second year student, and I'm interested in political science.
Lena, if you could go ahead.
Megan, you are from where?
Oh, I'm from the United States.
Yeah, okay, great.
Lena, can you hear me, sweetheart? Can you introduce yourself? And after that,
Oh, yes.
go ahead.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Lena. I'm third-year student here in iCLA. I'm from Finland. I major in global business and economics.
Nice.
Yeah, for some reason, all the men are so shy these days. Nobody wants to introduce themselves. It's all the ladies taking up the limelight.
Oh, maybe it's
That's the way
time.
it is. That's the way everyone is today. Yeah.
Okay, any humble man who would like to step forward and introduce themselves? Manny, what about you? Carl, can you introduce yourself? Because we already have your mentors from PickMyBrain on that side of the screen.
Okay, so my name is Carl Januszczak, but you can call me Manny. And what else do I say?
Which year you're in, which country you're from, what you're interested in?
Oh, this is my first year here. I'm from Canada, but right now I'm in the Philippines. And
wow, you're taking time. You're really picking your bride there, huh? I mean, people get married in less time than that in India.
Good. Well, we've got a lot of people.
Of an arranged marriage system.
Short is fine. Yeah. So let's.
Yeah, Josephine, sweetheart, if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Josephine from the US. I'm a freshman.
Josephine, what are you interested in, sweetheart?
Huh?
Which major you're interested in?
Business and economics, but I'm also interested in political science.
Wow. Okay, that's a big repertoire. Okay, Brandon and Beck, and go ahead. Brandon, can you hear me?
Yep. All right. Hi, I'm Brendan. I'm from Japan, and in the first year of college, and I'm interested in political science as well.
Right. Thank you. How about Imran and then Beck? Imran, can you hear me? By the way, this ladies, just in case if you're wondering, we don't have enough students right now. That's why I'm asking everyone to sort of introduce themselves. Once I know that there are, we've hit the 30 mark, I will let you guys go. Then you can just go. Koji, I just saw your face there for a second. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Koji from Uzbekistan, and I'm freshman as well, and I'm interested in language arts.
Thank you, Koji. What about Beck? Beck, can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Can you introduce yourself, sweetheart?
Yes, I'm from Uzbekistan. I will be majoring in global business and economics. And I'm a first-year student here at iCLA.
Thank you, Beck. Okay, how about another boy, for heaven's sake? How about Daniel? Daniel, oh, by the way, I haven't seen your face in over a month. I think I'm beginning to forget what you look like.
Here.
Oh, there he is. Whoa, hallelujah. Okay, Daniel.
Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm from Mexico. I'm interested in arts and language.
Thank you, Daniel. And are you in the second year, first year? Could you just tell us that?
The first semester.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. And thank you for obliging us with the vision of your face. Okay, next one. Raza, if you could just go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, God.
Shy boys. Okay, how about Keta? If not Raza, then Keta. If not Keta, then Yusuke. Someone.
Hello. Hello, my name is Keita Sugiyama. I'm from Japan. I have lived in Italy for 14 years in the past. And as hobby, I like to do some drawing, and listen to music and watch movies. Nice to meet you.
That's a great dating thing. But if you could just tell us which year you're in and what you're going to major in, sweetheart.
Okay. Sorry. In the second year of iCLA.
Okay. Okay. And you haven't made up your mind yet. I'm going to think that probably you don't know what you're going to major in. And that's just being you, a typical artist, right? Okay. Gia, if you could introduce yourself and also show us your face for a change. Gia, I saw it yesterday. I do remember what you look like a little bit. Oh, there you are. Oh.
Hello, my name is Ya. I'm from Vietnam and I'm a freshman. I'm looking forward to majoring in finance and economics. Thank you.
Yep. And he's economizing his camera time. What about what next one? Is that Aseka? Aseka, sweetheart, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. My name is Aseka. So I'm a first year student. I hope to do my major in political science. I love to watch movies and love to learn languages.
Brilliant. So Aseka is from Sri Lanka and she forgot to just plug that in, so I will. Next one, Yosuke-chan. If you could introduce yourself, Yosuke.
Okay. Hi, I'm Yosuke Sarita, and please call me Yosuke. And I'm second year student at iCLA, and I'm interested in business and economics.
Okay. Thank you. Kiran, can you introduce yourself? And ladies, we still have 3 more to go to reach the so-called quorum. Okay. Can you introduce yourself, Kiran? There you are. I can see your face for a change. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, Kiran.
Hello everyone. My name is Kiran and from Nepal. Well, I'm a freshman, first year, first semester, and I'm interested in business and economics.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, indeed, nice to meet these ladies. Okay. Anyone else who would like to introduce yourself? Otherwise, I think I can just let Reed Sensei and the Pick My Brain team start. Anyone else who'd like to register their presence? Yeah. Okay. Ladies, I think
how about Cindy? Just since
yeah.
Just quickly, because I think you have to go soon. So.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Cindy. This is my first time joining the Omnibus class, but maybe some of you already know me. I work in the iCLA admin office, and I'm the public info coordinator there. So I take care of our social media and other bits and pieces for iCLA's marketing. And it's really nice to see everyone.
Cindy, could you just remove your mask just briefly, just so that because you're also from Vancouver, and I just wanted Maxine to see you.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Cindy? Where do you live?
My family lives in the Marple district.
Yeah.
Near Richmond in Vancouver, yeah.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay, Reed Sensei and ladies, whenever you want to start, you can just start.
Okay, just one thing quickly, Kano. It seems like you get to call everyone sweetheart, and I'm not going to even go there today. But it's lovely to hear. It's nice. It's great.
I think that's the perk of being a female teacher, probably. Women like it, men like it. I think everybody likes it, and I either end up calling them kids because for me they do feel like kids, all of them. But I think they feel offended if I call them kids because they want to assert their independence. So I just stick with sweetheart.
Calling you kids, you a kid.
Okay, I'll try and make you the co-host. Just give me 1 second. Okay, you're now the host. You have all the power.
That means I can.
Oh, can you make us host too, Will?
Oh, it just says stop cloud recording, which I don't want to do. So I don't think maybe we can both record. So kind of if you can just be sure to please send me the recording as soon as.
Yeah, it's a link. Maxine, I'm going to send it to you guys, and Read Sense, I'll send it to you as well.
Okay, super.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are ready to start then. Okay, so thank you all so much for showing up, especially those of you who are not in the Omnibus class. I'm really happy to have you here and get a glimpse of what we're trying to do. Now, one of my favorite quotes is that you will be the same person in 5 years, except for the books you read and the people you meet. So 5 years, that's like college plus a year afterwards, you know, and raise your hand if you'd like to be the same person, no growth, no change. I can't see all of the hands, but I can imagine that nobody wants to be that way. You don't want to waste 5 years of your life and not grow. And there's another really interesting statistic. The National Science Foundation in 2005 announced, and I don't know how they counted these, but just even as a metaphor, it's pretty cool, that we have 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day. But unfortunately, 80% of them were negative, and 95% of the thoughts are the same thoughts that we had yesterday.
Wow.
So, broken record, and I don't even know if you know what a broken record is because people don't play records anymore, but it just keeps playing the same thing over and over again. And how do we break the pattern? I think there are lots of ways to do it, but to me, one of the most exciting is through conversations. And not conversations with the people you always talk to, people you have lunch with. That's fine, but it's not going to really shake your thinking or diversify your perceptions or anything nearly as much as the kind of thing that we're trying to offer on Pick My Brain, which is the ability to talk with people and even get mentored by people from around the world who you have not met before, and in a structured way, so that you actually can, you know, sometimes people say, well, what should I say? And I get that, but if you're given, say, a question to address, or say, name 3 things, 3 interesting things you've done, whatever, then it's easier to talk. And also if there's a time limit, but it requires practice. And if you don't have practice, what's going to happen is you will find that when you want to get a job, you're going to have to be interviewed. And particularly in Japan, and I think around the world now, all interviews are being done online. And if you're not used to showing your face on camera, and yeah, there's a certain comfort in being able to hide behind just the black screen. But when you actually can't hide and you have to actually convey your personality and your expressions and your gestures, it's going to be pretty tough. So why not get used to it when the stakes are low and when it's actually quite fun and it's almost like a game. And the other thing is that when you're on camera, there's a tendency, because you're probably sitting down, to be very limited in your gestures and your expressions. There was an article that Suga Sensei just shared with me this morning that said that you need to exaggerate your expressions and your gestures at least 1.5 times. That's 50% more than you ordinarily would do. Otherwise, you just look like a mug photo in the post office, wanted, you know, just or like a zombie, and you don't even realize it. But that, and I learned this from a lot of exaggerate, and it doesn't look exaggerated when you do it, and then you get used to that. So anyway, enough of me talking. I want to turn it over to my dear friends Maxine and Yasmin, who are the co-creators, I suppose, of Pick My Brain, and Yasmin is in charge of the Global Mentors program. So, and we actually have several students who are online with us today who have already completed their Pick My Brain profiles. So Maxine, maybe if you could just give us a little bit of background on yourself and on what this whole Pick My Brain thing is about.
Yeah. So hi, everyone. My name is Maxine. I am the CEO of Pick My Brain. And the whole thing behind Pick My Brain is really what Will said is, what if there was an opportunity for you to talk to anybody in the world that you wanted? That was the idea that got me really passionate, and I couldn't stop thinking about if we all had that opportunity to meet and greet each other and have these new and fresh conversations, perhaps our thoughts would be 90% of new ideas. And if our thoughts were consumed of new ideas, what are we all able to create, and what does the future look like, as opposed to if 90% of our thoughts are old ideas? So Pick My Brain really is a tool that connects you globally, and gives you this access to the world's people that you never had before. And over the course of today's presentation, I'm going to show you how that works, how you can join that, how it will improve your chances in this future economy that we are currently stepping into as creators, and why you might want to get on board and spend some of your very precious time in getting globally connected. And then this is Yasmin.
Hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today. Some of you recognize the face from last event, and I echo what Max is saying. We really want to offer opportunities for people that wouldn't if it wasn't for a tool that makes it easy, or if it wasn't for the internet, connect. Right, so like it's this possibility, this idea for us to look at the whole situation that we are in, and reflect that we are not only competing to one job, we're competing now in a global market, right? Because companies are adapting work from home, because everyone is in social media, everyone's on the internet. So that means that everyone's available for everything. And that only means that we should have that as something that is good for us. So, you know, that's what keeps us thinking of ways to make that available and easier for all of us.
Mm-hmm. And Yasmin and I went to university, I was 10 years ago, you were like 5 years ago. Yeah. And we feel like old, but that's so funny. But I dream, like I wish when I was in university, I had access to a global pool of talent to find my opinions, to find my passions, to practice having conversations and deciding how I feel about really important topics, to introduce myself to jobs that I didn't even know existed. I went to university for 8 years to get my master's in economics, and the university actually didn't really set me up with any economists when I was done. And so I came out with this deep theoretical knowledge and zero connections and zero ability to talk about economics. And I'm here, I built Pick My Brain because I want to change that. I want every university student to have the opportunity to talk about what they went to school for 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years to study with people from all around the world, so they can deepen their knowledge and they can deepen their understanding of the world. I really can't think of anything that's more important than doing that. And so I just wanted to make sure that was as easy and as available to each and every one of you in this room as possible. And so I'm going to show you how I approached solving that problem. How do you give anyone in the world access to anybody else in the world? You know, technology has just kind of reached this point that is totally possible. And what are we going to do with that power? How are we going to use it? Just as a quick show of hands, do you guys think you'll stop learning after university? Yeah, probably not. Who believes that they're going to be like a lifetime student, like forever of life? Yeah, us too. And you know, I this is another reason with Pick My Brain, I left university. I'm like, I still want to learn. I still want to be connected. I still want to be advancing my thinking. I still want to be reading books and meeting people, and be able to have a conversation with anybody. What a superpower. So Will, should we jump into the presentation right now?
Yeah, that I think that would be great. Yeah, and then we'll leave time for questions later. But if you do have questions, please write them down. We might also go into breakout rooms at one point. But usually at the end of a session, if you say, "Are there any questions?" there aren't any. So if you have them, please write them down now so you're ready to respond when we ask.
Yeah, feel free to write them down as we go, as you think of them, even thoughts that you have. I find I was just kind of writing down what Will was saying at the beginning of this class, because it was so influential. And I find when I double up and write down, that information stays more front and center. So feel free to do that as well. And
in the chat, that was, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, really quickly, again, Pick My Brain is this place, this new place on the internet where smart and interesting people, we call them brains, go to unlock new ways to buy, sell, gift, and exchange knowledge directly. And we feel like this is kind of the future of work, the future of education, and the future of mentorship. So I know we did a little bit of a round of introductions. There's a few questions Yasmin and I wanted to ask you guys before we got started. So maybe we'll call on a few volunteers who feel brave enough to kind of answer this question, or we can go around. But if we could get 5 people to kind of reintroduce themselves, but this time I want you to say, my name is, I want to be this when I grow up, whatever you think you want to be. And maybe a challenge that you have about becoming that, or of the future of work. If you could just like kind of introduce yourself with that, that's how we wanted to start, and we'll go from there. So if there's any volunteers, or I'll get you to pick a few people to just like start to share those things with us.
Should we try it as a breakout room first and then share? Just a quick one. I think that might be easier for people.
To kind of talk about. We could, I've got some breakout room sessions, but we could
Okay, well, why don't we do it as a warm-up, and let's see, does anyone want to volunteer to step forward on that?
What do you guys want to be when you grow up? Why are you going to school? What are you passionate about? What do you want to spend your life learning more about? What do you think you do? Anyone? I'll just pick.
Well, how about Hannah? How about you?
Hi, my name is Hannah. I hope to be a policy analyst. The plan after undergraduate is to pursue a master's degree and be a policy analyst. A concern that I have with achieving that is competition, maybe. I think there's a lot of good people, and a lot of people get master's degrees, but I want to be able to connect with people and highlight what sets me apart.
Love it. Thank you for sharing.
It's interesting because once you said that, suddenly a lot of the videos went blank. But anyway, okay, Lena, how about you? Ladies first and ladies second.
Oh yeah, hello, sorry, I had to leave the room. There was some other talking going on. Actually, I'm not sure how to answer this question because I really don't know what I want to do in the future. So that's the problem, and that's why I'm here, I guess. But
that's great.
I think I have to take some time to figure that out first.
What are you concerned about in terms of even finding work, or will there be any work, or
I guess my problem at the moment is that I really don't know what I want to do. Like, obviously I'm a business major, but there's so many different business related fields that I could do, but then I feel like I don't know enough still to know what interests me the most. So that's the problem.
Who relates to Lena? Who doesn't quite have a really good articulation of what they want to be, or they don't feel like they know enough to articulate that at a level that they are seeking? Hands up. We got a few. Okay, everyone who doesn't hand their hands up, I'm going to ask you for a really clear answer. Lena, I felt the same when I finished my degree, and the way I circumvented that before I had built Pick My Brain is I had a conversation with 100 people one-on-one, and I asked them, what do you do? What do you love about what you do? How did you find out? How did you find your path? And through 100 of those conversations, it blew my mind as to things that I didn't even know were possible. So totally feel you. Who didn't raise their hand? Will, did you see anyone? Should we ask a gentleman?
Let's see. Kiran, how about you?
I did raise my hand, and
Well, there's only 2 guys that are visible, so it was a 50-50 chance.
Well, Kieran, from your perspective, how come you feel like you don't know what you want to do? Or have you narrowed it at, do you like business? Do you like art? Is there a few passions that you've got?
Yes, and since I'm majoring in business and economics, I'd like to do my own business, but I don't know how to start, where to start, and how to do in the future. That's what I want to figure about studying over here. So it takes time, and I'll do that in the future too.
I love it.
Could I insert a comment that people say that experience is the best teacher? But I read a quote that felt quite fascinating. One of the things I love about reading is that experience is actually the worst teacher because it gives the test before the lesson. So you can learn from experience, but you're going to end up scarred. Or there's even a Chinese proverb that demonstrates this is old wisdom. It says that wisdom is what is a comb that is given to a bald man. It's too late. It's too late to use it. Right?
That's good. I love that.
So you can learn from other people's experience. That's called vicarious learning.
Yeah, that's good, Will. I like these. Who here thinks they want to start their own business like Corinne? I also want to start my own business. I have no idea what to happen. And I just, Corinne, imagine if I could offer you the opportunity to ask 10 people how they started their business and give you complete access to that. Like Will said, maybe you could vicariously learn through them, or get some new ideas in that mind of how to approach it. How about 2 more and then we'll keep going. Who do you think, Will?
Let's see, Megan.
So I guess for me, I'm still kind of deciding on what I want to do, but generally I'm really interested in international relations. I really hope I can meet a lot of new people and learn about their experiences in whatever I end up doing.
Love it. International relations, Megan, probably going to require you to connect with a bunch of people from different countries. Yeah. How do we do that? How do we connect with people from different countries and cultures and backgrounds? Where do we do that right now? Probably pretty important to understand also for a policy analyst like Hannah, very important. How do different countries, administer policies? What are their constitutions like? Good questions. Yeah, I like that.
How about Asika?
Yes, like Megan, I also like interested in international relations. I would like to become a diplomat. I know it's hard because a diplomat, I think, negotiating issues between different countries and get to know people. I interested in that field. If I couldn't able to become a diplomat, I would like to work in an embassy. I know it's hard, but I hope to do my best.
That's interesting you say that, and you're actually the first student I've heard say that they want to become a diplomat. And guess what? I have a friend who is a recently retired diplomat. He lived in Scotland. He was a diplomat in Ethiopia and Vietnam and worked around the world. And he's now retired. And he's been to Kofu. He's not on PickMyBrain. We should get him on.
Probably get him on.
but it's just when you say something like that, that opens up. Well, I know somebody.
Yes.
Yes. That's how it goes.
Super important, right? The 5 students that just took like a few minutes to tell us what they want to be and what they want to learn. We can now send resources your way to speed up your journey, right? Just like Will said, it got triggered. I know a diplomat. Hey, Will, let's onboard him onto PickMyBrain and let's give us an opportunity. What if you could spend an hour with him? What if you could spend a day with him? What if you could spend a week with him? Anything is possible. But how would that round out your experience? How would that introduce you to things that you didn't have access to before? Very cool. Okay, thank you for sharing. Again, take these opportunities to practice sharing, because like Will said, you're going to get these opportunities to sit online and show yourself off in this future of work, and the practice makes perfect. Just getting out there and sharing. So Yasmin and I introduced ourselves. We are just super passionate about giving you guys all the tools and resources and unique experiences to go further faster. Can anyone here tell me, or have you guys heard of the passion economy or the creator economy so far? Hands up. Has anyone heard of these terms? I can't see. No? Okay. I'm going to play a video. It's called The Second Renaissance. I think it's really important for everyone, especially in this room, who is going to a liberal arts international college, to understand what the passion and creator economy is, because a lot of people are predicting that is our next economy. That is what we are stepping into. It's a really exciting space. So I'm going to play this 7-minute video. This is the CEO of a company called Patreon. And yeah, he's going to just kind of introduce you to the space. I just want everyone to have a collective understanding about this before we kind of proceed and dive into the rest of our presentation. So I'm just going to play that really quick.
What's up, creators? Jack Conte here, CEO of Patreon. So Patreon just raised $150 million Series F round of financing at a $4 billion valuation. I'm super excited about it, but I just made a video about 6 months ago when we raised our last round about the future of the company. So instead of making another video about the future of Patreon, I figured I'd talk a little bit about where I think the world is going for creators over the next 10 years, because a lot has been changing in tech for creative people. Like Square, the financial services company, just bought Tidal, Jay-Z's music streaming service. And then Jay-Z joined the board of Square. Then Twitter announced super follows, which a lot of people are saying is basically just competitive with Patreon. TikTok announced this $1 billion creator fund. And Patreon, which was valued at $1.2 billion about 6 months ago, is now valued at $4 billion. Meanwhile, people are buying abstractions of digital artwork called NFTs. And Grimes, the musician, just sold a set of NFTs for about $6 million a few weeks ago. Beeple sold a single NFT for $69 million. What the fuck is going on? Okay, so largely, I think all these things are the same thing. Overall, I believe the second renaissance is here. There's a feedback loop that started a couple of years ago that's now cycling on itself faster and faster. And I believe it's going to lead to an explosion in creativity. It started here with the web's early creators, who basically took advantage of this new, free, awesome distribution architecture called the internet. And these creators got huge. They turned into this generation's movie stars. I'm doing it! But at the beginning, there weren't very many easy ways for creators to make money. So these companies started popping up to help creators solve this. Companies like Gumroad and Fullscreen and Patreon. And that allowed creators to not just be huge, but to be making money, to be clocking ducats. Creators are now building these huge kick-ass creative businesses. There are now podcasters on Patreon that are making millions of dollars per year. There are YouTubers on Patreon that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. Creators are leasing office space and hiring huge teams. They're living the freaking dream because it's so much more accessible and so much better to be a creator now than it was 10 years ago. And that's led to this explosion in the number of creative people in the world who are becoming full-time creators. The distribution platforms have realized that. The Facebooks and Twitters and the YouTubes of the world, they're getting dollar signs in their eyes because they're seeing this huge opportunity to help creators make money. So boom, YouTube copies Patreon and releases channel memberships. Meanwhile, Facebook is trying to compete with YouTube, so they launch fan subscriptions. Then Twitter announces super follows, and then in a blink, all these distribution companies are now competing with each other on creator payments. They're trying to be the best at getting creators paid. The same thing happened a few years ago when Snapchat launched Stories. Boom, Instagram copied them and launched their own version of Stories. Then Facebook launched Stories. It happened again when TikTok launched short form video. Instagram launched Reels, YouTube launched Shorts. These platforms copy paste each other on feature sets. And the feature set of creator payments is no different. Just as the distribution platforms are competing with each other to be the best at short form video, they're now competing with each other to be the best at creator payments. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not just the YouTubes and the distribution platforms of the world that are now building for creators. It's new companies too, and they're Legoizing the business of creativity. Hundreds of new companies building for creators. I think it's going to be similar to what happened to startups over the last 20 years. It used to be really hard to build a startup. You had to build all your own infrastructure and data centers, all your own technology, all your own marketing automation and everything. But over the last 20 years, each of these components of building a business has been Legoized by another company. You used to have to figure out all your own systems to scale your compute power and your database storage. But then boom, AWS came along and built that as a Lego for you. Then Salesforce came along and built the CRM block. Zendesk built the customer service block. And now building a company is so much easier than it was 20 years ago. And even somebody like me can build a company because you can kind of just put it together one block at a time. And this phenomenon, this Legoization of business components, is about to happen for creators. There are already hundreds of startups, literally hundreds, that are building this stuff. I'm a part of the Slack channel that was set up by Lee Jin, who's this incredible creator, investor, and a leader of the passion economy. This Slack channel literally has over 300 startups in it, building the infrastructure for creators to run their businesses. Oh my God, 300 companies. But it makes sense because right now creators have to do all this from scratch by themselves. And that's why Square, I think, bought Tidal, because they're starting to map out the Lego blocks for creative business building. So zooming out, this overall competitive dynamic between the distribution platforms competing to get creators paid and the startups and other companies Legoizing creative business infrastructure, this is going to lead to incredible, accessible, easy ways for creators to make money and build businesses. Actually, it's not even about making money. It's about building your dream as a creative person. That's about to go crazy. If you think creators are huge right now, wait till 5 years from now. Creators are going to be in charge. That's going to lead to a key step in this feedback loop. My favorite step, culture changes. The stigma of the starving artist disappears. It's gone from Earth. Sayonara, hallelujah. Professional creativity becomes as normal as being a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or any other profession. And kids growing up no longer dream of being a creator, they plan on it. A study published a few years ago shows that 75% of kids aged 6 to 17 want to be an online video creator when they grow up. There's an entire generation of kids watching today's creators, making videos, making podcasts, shooting the shit with their friends, building kick-ass businesses, making money. No wonder these kids want to be creators when they grow up. They're living the freaking dream. And that's going to lead to an even bigger explosion in the number of creators over the coming decades. And then this cycle is just going to keep feeding back on itself. The second renaissance is here right now. It's been here for a while, but a lot of people are just starting to see it. Creators are about to have leverage. They're about to have choice. Global creativity is about to be financed and celebrated to a degree that's going to make the first Renaissance feel like a blip in a history book. If you're a creative person and you're alive today, this is literally the best time in the history of humanity to be on this planet. What's going to happen over the next 10 years is going to be awesome.
So yeah, any thoughts on that? I have this prediction that creators and artists will be the highest paid people in society in 10 to 20 years. But yeah, as a liberal arts, I just wanted to kind of paint that picture just to kind of set the scene in the room that this is unlocking right now. I'm one of those 300 companies. And I was someone who realized, that there is all this Lego to build your own company, your own community, your own art, and to make a really good living doing it. So it just kind of opens up the map. Does anyone have any thoughts before we move on? Will, did you want to share any thoughts on that?
Well, that was awesome. I've always been a fan of the Italian Renaissance, and a friend of mine wrote a book called How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci, which was a bestseller in 1995. But that was before a lot of this stuff started happening. And as having just written a book on calligraphy, this is very exciting news to me because I can see it's going to be much more than a book.
Yes, yes, very exciting. So I hope that unlocks some thinking and just like, again, motivated you as to how many resources are going here and what these big leaders in the world think where the next economy is coming. And you guys are coming out of, a creative liberal arts college right at this time. So it's really exciting. So again, our goal, Yasmin and my goal today is to show you how important it is to stay connected globally in this new economy. And to show you kind of how to tap into that, to make sure that you aren't left behind and that you are up to date and that you're riding this wave that is coming. So over the next, we got 40 minutes. We're going to do a few group discussions. We're going to show you a little bit more about PickMyBrain and do a demo. We're going to invite you as some of the first students in the world to an opportunity that we think is pretty unique. We're going to go over some profiles that your fellow students have created and walk through them. They're gorgeous. And then we're going to talk a little bit about next steps. We're going to give an opportunity to win a scholarship and just hopefully end the session with better understanding how to future-proof yourself. Sound good? That's okay, Will?
That sounds fabulous.
Perfect. Okay, so do we have access to breakout rooms? I was just going to see here. We do. Oh, do we?
Yeah.
I didn't see it in my.
I do as a co-host. So
you do? Okay, so I might lean on you for that, Will. Okay. I'd like to do a breakout room with 3 to 4 people in each room. And I want you guys to have about an 8-minute conversation about what skills and qualities that you think you guys are going to need to thrive in this new future of work. What are going to be the most important things for you guys to kind of work on and have? I just want to open up that conversation, and then we're going to come back and share a few of them. So Will, if you could split the class up into maybe 5 groups. 3
to 4 people per room.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 4 minutes per person, or is that going to be?
Let's do 8 minutes total. And just have like a group. Yeah, just trying to like contribute into that conversation as to what you think those qualities might look like.
Right. Okay. So this 6 rooms, that's 4 participants per room.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we'll jump into.
Reed Sensei, I'm on the other side taking another class. Is that okay?
Okay, I don't know if we don't seem to all be back yet. One thing about Zoom is that the breakout room sessions, which are sometimes the most interesting conversations, are actually not recorded because you can't record simultaneously like 6 breakout rooms. So that's the reason why we like to share online some of the things that you spoke about. So I closed all the rooms, so I don't remember actually who was in which room, but let's say the first room, Lena, you were in the first room, and then maybe we can just go around and just hear from some of the thoughts.
From me?
Yeah, just some of the things we talked about.
Sure. So yeah, I actually wrote some keywords down in my notes that we were talking about. I think the most important thing was communication skills. That's what mostly everybody mentioned. And then we also mentioned self-starters. So people who are able to take action, like initiate action themselves, be a bit aggressive, but in a good way. Then presentation skills also are quite important, or like public talking skills. And then leadership, of course, is what I guess most companies now expect from you when you look for a job, is somehow show that you have leadership skills.
You know, that's, well, thank you. That's a great summary. We also talked a little bit about whether programming or at least being able to use Office programs and Adobe programs. But the interesting thing to me, though, is leadership is difficult enough when you're face to face. But can you imagine trying to lead people when you have to communicate with them online and you can't even see their face? I mean, how are you going to lead them, right? How are you going to even know what they're doing if they're even there? You know, it's just such a challenge. And I've been talking to some of the companies that we work with, and they say we would love to have videos and ability to see and talk to people and find out what they're really like, because we don't want to take a chance. You know, they hire somebody and it's really hard to get rid of somebody once you've hired them in Japan. So yeah, the sooner you can step up to that, just almost by default, you're going to have a huge advantage.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know. Let's see who was in room 2. I don't have the names of the rooms anymore, but
Also, if that's not a motivation to turn on your camera, I don't know what is.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, room 2. Yeah, Hannah.
I was in room 2, and I also took some notes as well. One thing that we talked about was adaptability. Times are ever changing now. So whether that be online work from home work, having adaptability while also maintaining that work-life balance is something that we talked about. Since we are online so much, having that balance is really hard to maintain now for some people. So I think that'll be, you know, a personal skill that people will have to gauge on their own. And then we also talked about the space and support and compassion to follow our dreams. When the video was talking about 75% of kids being creators, when we were young kids, that felt just so far off that was a dream, that it wasn't a practical job. So the space and the support to do that now, whether that be in our family life or our peers or our mentors, I think would make all the difference in the future.
Beautiful.
Well said.
Space create. Yes. Anyone else?
Yeah, the adaptability comment and adapting to being on Zoom. Like, I think you already are getting a taste of this with your classes, but I don't know how many classes you might have. 4 classes and as a relatively heavy load. But the managers that I talk to in companies, they say they're on Zoom from morning until night. And sometimes they have to do it in the middle of the night because they're dealing with people in other countries. And so they're just sitting down all the time and just on Zoom all the time. And obviously they have to have the video on then because they're going to think you're not even there. So get used to it, you know. And what I would like to introduce actually is that people start doing walk and talk meetings instead. So you're actually outside, you're moving around. Yes, you're visible, but you're changing your environment and you're walking. And some companies are starting to introduce this. If you're going to meet online, you don't have to be sitting down.
I do all my Pick My Brain calls walking in the forest.
Nice.
Yep. Amazing. Yeah. Anyone else want to add to the list? Room 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about patience, because not everybody you're gonna work with is gonna be somebody that you can like, but you have to learn how to deal with that professionally too. And another thing we said is language, because language is an important thing, especially if you want to communicate with all kinds of people. Yes.
That's really important message, yeah. Because one thing that in school, you have more ability to choose who you hang out with. I mean, you actually get to select your courses within reason. I mean, there's certain courses are required, but you can choose who your friends are. You go to work someplace, you don't have that luxury, right? You're sorry, this is the team you're on, right? And you can, however, reach out and collaborate with other teams, and maybe they will ask you to join them, but you don't have that luxury. So yeah, you do need to be really flexible dealing with different people.
Global audience, different countries, different cultures. What's that going to be like? Yeah, like this class.
Yeah. How about room 4?
Yeah, room 4.
I don't know who was in room 4, but just anyone who hasn't spoken up, please.
Feel free to add to the list.
Did you just came on video? Do you want to say something? Koji?
I guess, yeah, we were in room 4 with PickMyBrain team as well. We talked about public speaking, cooperation, communicating, and then resilience. We discussed like other students as well talked about other topics. So myself, I told that in most places, in most fields, being able to communicate and trying this, if you try to communicate well, this leads you to cooperate well. This is the like main path for most fields for myself. Yeah, that's what I shared.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, public speaking and resilience. That's what a great combination, you know.
And if you can communicate, you can cooperate. I love that too. Yeah, super powerful.
How about room 5? Can we hear from somebody in room 5? No?
I was in room 5.
Okay. So please go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, she already shared it.
Oh, you already shared. Okay. So did we skip? No, we did room 4. Anyway.
I think we went over. We skipped room 3.
Room 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever room it is, just we can hear from maybe 2 more people. I think we've got 15 minutes left, and Max, you may want to move on and do other parts of it because we want to see the student profiles. So we don't. Yeah. We've heard a bit of repetition in some of the skills, so maybe we can move on.
Yeah, let's pause. That's a really good list. And what I challenged our room to start thinking about is, where are you getting these skills that you've identified? And our group started to talk about, with my friends through books. And now I want to give you another opportunity to practice those skills on PickMyBrain. So I'll jump back to the presentation. Thank you guys for sharing. We had a few other breakout rooms, but I'm just gonna leave them. But a few things to think about is that I wanted to discuss with the room too, is like how important it is to have a strong online identity in today's day and age, and a personal brand, super key. And how important it is to connect with people from different countries and different backgrounds, because we are global now. So that did kind of come up in our first breakout session, but just other thoughts to consider that, again, we kind of baked into PickMyBrain, enter PickMyBrain. So what we kind of described, why is it so important? Why did Will ask that this be maybe built into the curriculum and for you guys to have a chance to build this profile? Because we feel it is the future resume. It's resume 3.0. It's a resume that showcases you as a human, what you are passionate about, what you are fighting for, what your story is, what you want to learn, and whether you are open to the world, whether people can get in touch with you, whether people can book you. This profile will let you unlock all of that. The second reason you might want to consider building a profile and working on it is that once you build a profile and go live, you will start to gain access to a global knowledge exchange. So what we kind of discussed at the beginning, this pool of people from all around the world that you now have direct one-on-one access to. Right, and learning how to use a tool that this powerful, and that when you book someone and you have your profile completed, how far you can go with that person. They'll know a lot about you and therefore can leapfrog you. When someone shared that they wanted to be a diplomat, Will was able to already pull something for that individual. So just imagine someone knowing more about you, how much more they can help you. It gives you access to a creator dashboard and a wallet. So we saw in the video how important it is for us to start to become creators. PickMyBrain will give you that opportunity to turn on that business arm if you ever want to, and just show you who in the world is viewing your stuff. You know, it's pretty interesting. So if you could send your new age resume to a job interview, you can kind of see if they're checking you out and reading about you. And the more people that kind of check you out and read about you, the more people know about you, the more people can refer you. And there's so many co-benefits alongside that. And then lastly, by building a PickMyBrain profile, you're going to also start to get invitations to these global networking opportunities and parties online. Yasmin threw one a couple weeks ago for this class, and she brought a bunch of students to meet a bunch of people around the world. And everyone kind of who had a profile got an invitation, or who was in the process. So, you know, once you go live with this profile, you kind of tap into this world that's all about helping you meet the world's people. So again, Will is a brain, and we've gotten to know Will, and we wanted to onboard basically the kind of the top students at iCLA, you guys, to give you an opportunity to tap into this, to kind of watch what happens when you do. How, again, really easy. Again, just build a profile, submit it for review, and you can start to connect globally. So jumping to the students that have created profiles and submitted their profiles for review, we're going to walk through them, and I'm going to get Yasmin to kind of read through them and just talk about, like, even from an employer perspective, PickMyBrain, like, we're always looking to hire people, what we see, and what they might be able to do with that. So Hannah was one of the first people who built a profile and submitted it for review. So I'm going to go head to pickmybrain.world. And I'm going to go meet the brains. Again, here's a pool of thousands of people from 20 plus different countries, like I said, who are available. And I'm going to go look up Hannah because she's now live. Here she is. And I'm going to let you walk through it, and then we'll go through it.
So in here, you can see the headline. You can see the tags that she used. So for other things that she is, right, other than her headline, things that she knows a lot about. So tags of, you know, if you connect with her, you can talk about those things because those are the things that you master, right? How people know her for, right? What she can offer to those people who connect with her. Why I should pick her, right? So I'll see a pool of professionals, and why should I pick her, and what she's available for, and the language, right? And then in here, she got into more depth of like her personal self. So this is really what sets our profiles apart from other profiles in other social media channels, for example, because here you can see the person, you can connect the person, you don't feel so fearful into getting into a conversation with someone that you never met, right? So you can read her story, hear her mission, hear her core values, things that she's proud of. And I would, if we look in here, she's available for a free meet me call. So if I am an employer, right? And I talk to someone who refer me Hannah, or if I come to Pick My Brain, I see her profile and I'm interested in her, I can book her. And then when I click on booking her, I can see the dates that she's available. I can add the dates, and I can add even one or, you know, 2 options of dates, and she picks one.
Let's just do it.
Right? And then
we have to put a note. I'll put it right here. Hey, Hannah. Would you like to be an ambassador? Let's talk.
Yeah. And then when I submit the booking, I receive a confirmation, right? And Hannah, did you receive a text message? She did, right? So she accepts the booking, and then we start talking until we get our phone call. So really, it's that easy, right? And I would like to ask you, Hannah, as well, to share with the group how valuable it was for you to go ahead and build a profile and to articulate your mission, your vision, what you want. Like when we share with the world where we want to go, people can help us get there, right? If you don't share, then no one can help you. So I would like to hear from you. What was your experience in building the profile, and why you think that everyone in here should build a profile?
Thank you. I've had some difficulty building the profile as a student, and this is something that I discussed with Professor Reed. I felt like I'm 20 years old, you know, what have I really done to showcase on a profile like this? You know, whereas his profile, it's like, it's so robust, he's done so many things, it's so filled out. So that was a difficulty that I struggled with, but he was able to guide me in ways and kind of reevaluate and say, you know, well, actually you have a lot to offer, even if you haven't done specific things yet in your career. And so with that perspective, I just felt like this was such a good resource, and I really enjoyed doing it. And I think it would be really helpful to everyone else as well.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you guys don't feel that it's a common challenge that even experts that have 40 years of experience feel. But know that you're a unique being, and that someone that, you know, is 40 years a senior can learn something from you because they don't know what the university experience is like anymore. And know that a future employer, if I know what you're passionate about, I might be able to hire you for that. I might be able to buy some time from you if I see what you're available for. So I'm glad you highlighted that challenge. But I just want to emphasize that if you believe that every person in the world has something to teach you, if you believe that, then you are one of those people. And a conversation with you and someone else, you know, can unlock new things because you simply have 2 new people at the table.
And at the same time, it's so natural for you to feel that way when you start. And it's beautiful for you to start that way. And as you go and as you connect with more people, revisit your profile, add to your profile, and see your journey as you go.
Yeah. Maxine, can you share Khadijah's profile, just not in detail, but we've only got 5 minutes left, and just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, for sure. We actually had Kajita's and Soleil's to go through, but we'll quickly go through Kajita's. Right here. So this was really fun too, because Kajita actually locked a paid offer. She unlocked a 5 hours of custom work, okay, which all of you could offer. You know, and is Kajita here today?
I don't think so. I think she might have had another class, or it might be a time zone issue, but she will definitely be interested in the recording.
Yeah, well, definitely worth checking out these 3 profiles. I'll share them in the chat. Again, excellent job at articulating her story, her greatest accomplishments. She built a portfolio of her artwork. And again, if someone pointed her way, you know, I can now hire an animator for 5 hours of work for $500. You know, do you guys want to start making, you know, 50 or $100 an hour? Why not? You know, the world is really hungry for work from students. And I think it's a really good opportunity for you guys to start to make some creative revenue streams for yourself, and practice your skills at the same time, and give us industry folks like a really good opportunity to lean on those. So again, Pick My Brain gives you the opportunity. She is available for the Meet Me, but she's also, I can buy services from her, which is really exciting.
You can also you can also add an introductory video, and then there's in the portfolio, and you don't have to, but that is something that you can add. And we have this tool called Speakeasy, which is AI for training, helping you get your video introduction. So a lot of people who are on this, so I've got one here, and getting comfortable talking into the camera is not easy. But I can give coaching to particularly students in my class, and then it's a video resume.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kajita, Hannah, Soleil, if you want to have a go at just putting a vision, hey, I'm Hannah. This is what I'm super passionate about. If you ever want to talk, give me a call. I love to talk about these things. Gives us an easy opportunity to share you. And it gives, again, comfortability for someone who might want to book you. So yeah, really cool that 3 of you guys did just like a standout job building these profiles. Again, now that you're now bookable by anybody in the world, and you can now book anyone in the world. So we did book Hannah. We showed you how easy that was. Hannah will fulfill that call if you accept one, and we'll just go through your profile one-on-one and kind of chat to you. So feel free to accept one of those. And then again, yeah, just to quickly go through, is again, a super easy opportunity to build a new age resume, super easy to get connected, start practicing making money, and get opportunities to these networking opportunities. So the 2 programs that we were most interested in introducing you guys to are one that is very serendipitous. It's called Meet the World's People. So when you build a Pick My Brain profile, if you want to turn this on, Pick My Brain is going to connect you with one person from around the world a month for $10 a month for students. So you will meet people like a YouTuber, maybe an Olympian, maybe a filmmaker who uses blockchain, maybe a climate change scientist, maybe a creativity coach. Either way, this program, once you have a profile, will introduce you to the world's people once a month. So we believe that'll help you do all those skills that you kind of said that the future of work kind of requires. So that's one program we're really, really excited about. And the second program that we're really excited about is book any mentor one-on-one. Choose your coach, choose your educator. And so Yasmin has gone around the world and onboarded 100 remarkable people that you can now book one-on-one to teach you how to public speak, to teach you how to be resilient, to teach you how to use Adobe and practice your design thinking. From an award-winning graphic designer. These professionals are typically $500+ an hour, and we're bringing them to the students available so that you guys can lean on them to kind of learn anything you want. Talk to someone who's a 40/40 under Harvard Business School grad about business and economics. What are you going to learn? You are going to stand out from the crowd. And in those interviews, when you talk of jobs, if you told me that you did that, you pursued that as a student, my mind is like, wow, you're setting yourself apart. Imagine if you could go to an interview and be like, I've had 50 conversations with world leaders. I have a general census of what's going on in the world. Really powerful stuff. And again, this directory is going to grow and grow and grow because Yasmin just keeps recruiting the coolest people in the world for you guys to have direct access to. And all it requires, again, is a Pick My Brain profile. So yeah, we just wanted to make sure, if you think it's important to have an online identity, Pick My Brain can help you do that. If you think it's super important to build a global network, we can help you do that. If you think it's important to learn about things outside of your study, like cryptocurrencies and blockchain and traveling and finances and public speaking, again, all those skills are kind of found in this marketplace. If you want to continuously invest in your own education after university, someone told me to invest 10 to 20% of my income back into education. but just this is a place to do that. Go get credits from people from around the world after school is done. And just really generally future-proof yourself, set yourself up for this new future of work. That's what we would like to bring to you. And Yasmin kind of ended this presentation with her favorite person, which is Barack Obama. But we really do believe that the future of work belongs to young people with an education and an imagination to create. And to loop back to Will saying that like 90% of our thoughts are the same, they will not be if you meet more people. So I encourage you guys to make a self goal. I'm going to meet 10 to 12 new people this year. And I'm just going to go pick my brain and book them. And I'm going to go through that uncomfortable growth and practice speaking about myself and asking questions to someone else, because you are going to walk out stronger. So please feel free to work on your profile this week, submit it for review. We can support you in that. Unlock new opportunities for yourself automatically. And again, we're going to be working with the university. We would love to offer $250 and $500 Pick My Brain scholarships, again, to people kind of who are going through and pushing their profile live and spending that time and energy to get globally connected. So Will, I don't know when your date is, but if anyone has any other questions, we can totally answer them, or Will, if they got to run.
Yeah, the end of this month is really what I'd said. And then just a reminder that the URL is a little bit unusual. It's all one word, pickmybrain.world.
Yes.
So you could put that in the chat, and the chat will disappear after we close it. So if you go to the bottom of the chat and you there's a thing that says file and there's 3 dots. If you click on that, it will I think you can supposed to be able to record it.
I think you can save it.
Copy it, save it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's not saving, but hopefully maybe the reason for that is that Kanu is the original host.
Oh yeah.
So Kanu, can you save the chat just for us, and then also when you close it, you will get the recording. If you could send that to me, that would be great.
What's that? Ours. Oh, put ours to our profile too. Okay, and yeah, I'm just gonna share everyone's in your classes profile so you can look at them for examples. And I'm gonna share mine and Yasmin's profile. Yasmin and I are open and available to helping you guys with your profiles and or hooking you up with a mentor that can help you with your profile. So please don't be shy. There is no right answer at all. Everyone is interesting by virtue of being alive. And if you guys are interested in either programs, just like let your professor know, and we're just going to try to work its way into the university as much as we can. Yeah.
And I know everyone's busy with finals and everything, but this is something that's ongoing. Even though we have a kind of a deadline in terms of the prizes and so forth, it's something you can start anytime, and it's ongoing for the rest of your life. So you don't need to be busy.
Yeah, it is. I've been working on mine for the past 4 years. I keep changing it all the time. Yeah. Amazing. Well, it's such a pleasure sharing this with you all. We really are on a mission to democratize education. So if there are any students that want to be an ambassador to Pick My Brain, we want to spread this to students from around the world. You guys are getting a first taste of this in the whole world. We're just about to onboard a few other universities, but you guys are number one. So I hope you take advantage of it. I hope we can link you up with the world's people and set you apart, of the competition.
We're also going to start to reach out to graduates of iCLA so that you'll be able to actually talk to students who used to be here and can maybe get you into their world as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on it. So thank you so much just the great, I think we're having new students joining maybe for Kanu's new class. But anyway, Kanu, thank you so much for that. And please send me the recording, and then I will just end, and then I think that hopefully we'll stop the recording. Kanu, do you have any just quick word or?
I'm so sorry. For a part of it, I was taking another class.
Yeah, of course.
I heard almost everything. I was not really paying attention to my students. Terrible me. Okay, terrible me. Okay, so thanks so much for joining us today, the Pick My Brain team. You guys are amazing. The things that you're doing and the opportunities you have for our students can literally change their lives. And Reed Sensei, thanks for letting us know that such an opportunity even exists.
My pleasure.
We had absolutely no idea. And it's been amazing. I think I might as well make a profile with all of you guys.
Yes.
Let's all do it together.
If the professors also had a profile, I mean, and you're thinking of coming to the university, you could check out their profile. I think that would be cool.
Right?
Anyway, yeah. Okay. Well, we're a little bit over time, so I'll let you go. But thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.